Hello everyone. Today I'm going to answer a question which one of my friends asked on my Instagram, which was, what is astrology in your words, in my words, and what are its common its myths and beliefs. And he also added a postscript which said which basically said that I should learn astrophysics. So I'm going to answer that question. That's the first thing. And the second part is I'm going to, I also posted a couple topics I wanted to talk about and on my Instagram, and my friends answered which ones they would like to hear about. And the third one out of those five, which was, how or why does astrology affect us? So that will be the second part I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so for the first one, what is astrology in my words? Well, I've already answered this question in my first video, okay, which is titled What is Astrology slash Jyotish. I've given one explanation or one way of seeing astrology in that one. Okay. Um, Today I will answer that question again, but I'll provide a different way of looking at it, a different perspective. And the way I'm going to do it is through the second answer, the second part of the video, which is how does it affect us? Other than that, if you want to know in my words, well, astrology is a very complex topic. Okay, so if you ask me the same question every time, I can come up with different answers every time, and each one of those answers would be right. That's how complex astrology is. Okay, so when it comes to that, what is astrology? There's so many answers. Okay, now getting to the second part, what are its common myths and beliefs? Well, astrology, it's surrounded by myths and beliefs. Okay, but one of the biggest ones that I see nowadays is the general narrative that people get into, which is uh, that it gives you a fixed destiny. Okay, this is what's gonna happen to you in your life because some astrologer told you. That is completely wrong. Okay, that's a myth or a misconception. Why? Is because if your chart indicates something, that will happen, but it's not always that bad because there's a way of the astrological chart balancing itself out. I will talk about this when I talk about astrological charts and those things. Okay, there's no person that has complete bad chart, complete unlucky placements, or complete good chart, good placements. Things balance themselves out. Okay, but you still see bad people and good people. That's because things that they choose to go with, it's their free will, what they choose. Okay, so great people, if they have great placements, they're capable of doing great evil or great good. What they choose is it's their free will. So destiny is not fixed with astrology. That's one big misconception. And another one which I hate is how people nowadays they get into what I call it is popular astrology or popular culture, pop culture astrology. Okay, what they like is they get into the zodiac signs. They say, hey, I'm a Scorpio, hey, I'm a Leo, or hey, I hate Leos, I hate Geminis, that this and that. Okay, astrology is not just that. Okay, if you think there are only 12 personality types in the world, that's 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 boring. That's not the truth. Okay, so there are not only 12 personalities. That, yes, that's a huge thing. Okay, so your sun sign, your rashi, your zodiac, your moon sign, and your ascendant, the big threes, they're very important placements. But it's just one placement, just one. And you have to look at the whole chart. Even if you are only focusing on one placement, you have to look at, okay, it's sun is sitting in Libra. Is it debilitated? Is what degree is it at? Are there other planets? Which house is it in? Are there any planets of aspecting it? Okay. Is it during a solar eclipse? What's going on? You have to look at all those details. All those details. Okay. So that's who you are. You're not just your sun sign. You're not just your moon sign. Okay. So getting into that, calling yourself this or that, you are not that zodiac sign. And if you say you hate Geminis, well, you have Gemini, the zodiac, in your sky, in your birth chart. Okay, these are the two biggest hated astrological signs, according to me. Leo and Gemini. People hate these people. These are not people. These are the zodiac signs. You hate that person because you have some history with them. You shouldn't hate that zodiac sign for that, or someone else with the same placement. They can have a complete different outlook on that energy that they have, that they share, these two people. It can play out in different ways. So getting into that is stupid. That's one of the biggest myths or beliefs nowadays that people buy into. That's pop culture astrology. That's not real astrology. That's not the scope of astrology. That's not the source. That's not astrology. And people who think astrology is fake, I am assuming that the reason you say this is because you have a limited knowledge of what astrology is. Okay, so, and most probably it's this mainstream pop culture astrology. And is that fake? Yes, that's fake, because that's limited. Okay, it's a truth, but it's a limited truth. Okay, that's not astrology. Okay, but is astrology itself fake? No, astrology is everything. You give me one word, any one topic, I can connect that to astrology. How or why? Because astrology is everything. Why I say that is because there are people who apply astrology in many ways. There are different sides. You can look into medical astrology, predictive astrology, personality types. That's what most people do nowadays. Online, through the pop culture, mainstream astrology. Anything that becomes mainstream, chances are it goes down in quality, whether it's music, rock, rap. The moment it becomes mainstream, death of that particular whatever it is, whatever subject. Same thing with astrology. Okay, so stop getting or buying into that. Learn for yourself what astrology means. Okay, so that's another misconception. Now, coming back to the third topic out of the 5 that I posted, which is why or how does astrology affect us. It's not that hard. It's just that it affects us in so many ways. Okay, so for example, you can ask me, I'm sitting here right now. Is the light that I'm sitting under affecting me? Is the air that's around me, the quality of oxygen, is that affecting me? Yes, that's science. Yes, it's affecting me. The certain rooms you can walk into, people around, your environment, does that affect you? Yes. So with astrology, I talked about this in my first video. Astrology is mostly the energy is with the particles, the planets, the stars. Astrology is all about the stars, not the zodiac signs. Zodiac signs are also stars, and I distinctively tell what are planets, what are zodiac signs in my first video. So go watch that if you haven't already. So in astrology, the drivers are the planets. The planets are the wandering stars. They control everything that is about astrology. So do they affect us? Yes, the sun, it rises, everybody in the world wakes up. It goes down, we sleep. Everything affects us. Okay, our surroundings, planets, moon phases. All that is, it's a stupid question to ask. Does that affect us? How does it affect us? Well, that's a good question. Okay, so how does it affect us? Well, those are details that I will be getting into one by one, every video, every now and then. Okay, but today I'm going to provide a scientific answer and a spiritual answer. The scientific version is it's a basic understanding of how astrology can affect us based on the basic understanding of science that I have, that I can provide. Okay, so the basically what's astrology, how it affects us. Well, the scientific answer is it's all about the planets. And what are planets? They're particles. So if you look at science, look at atom, any particle, molecule, atom, when we say it's charged, what it is doing is it's moving, and it's moving back and forth. It has a frequency of vibration. Now based on what exact frequency it has, low, high, fast, that determines whether that particle will emit sound or light. And that's what particles do. Depends on what element, what particle. Okay, but that's what they do when they are charged. Okay, so what does it mean when they are charged? Well, when they are at a stable state, that's potential energy. When they're moving, that's kinetic energy. Okay, energy always is, always will be. Particle has it. When it is stimulated, it moves back and forth. That potential energy becomes kinetic energy. Okay, and that after a certain frequency of vibration, it starts emitting sound and even light. So does that, when that happens, does that affect particles around it? Yes. Some might even say that it's not the charge itself, that the particle itself is emitting light, but it's actually, there's friction between that particle and particles around it, that's causing light, warmth, even fire. So that can, if that works for you, yeah, you know. So does that affect the particles around it? Yes. So that's one explanation. Okay, this is the scientific one I can provide, because those particles will, that's our planets are what? They are particles who are ignited. They emit even sound, by the way, if you catch them on radio frequency and everything, but they emit light. Does that light affect us? Yes. So yes, astrology affects us. How? We are underneath it, that's enough. Okay, every day we wake up, we have the sun coming up. That's when we wake up, we do things daily. That's how it affects us. That's the basic answer I can give. Okay, I'll get into the complexities later when I talk about particular planets, particular aspects. Okay, the spiritual answer now is okay, let me get a breather. So the spiritual answer, or more of a mystic answer, is that we have 7 planets. First of all, in Vedic astrology there are 7 planets. Just that. Some modern Vedic astrologers use Pluto, they use Neptune, Uranus. In Western astrology they are used, but there are reasons why ancient Vedic astrology does not use that. Okay, I will talk about why seven planets when I talk about the planets. Okay, but for now, this is what you need to understand. Seven planets and how they affect us, other than just shedding light on us, is that they're not just above, they're also below. It's a concept of as above, so below. We have seven planets above, seven continents below. Okay, how they affect us is not just as above, so below, it's also as with, so without. So we see these planets outside our body, but they are also inside our body. That's how medical astrology connects and works. Okay, so what's the concept here is that our body, it works on energy. So this energy, we have chakras, which are known as energy cycles, chakras or chakras, like they call it in the western part of the world. These chakras are energy cycles and energy, because there are cycles of energy. It can be potential, kinetic, come and go, right? Energy is never, it's not created, neither destroyed, right? So these chakras, they are energy centers and they are all over the body, all over our body. But if you understand the body itself, which part of the body is you, for example, compare my hand to my brain or my mind, which is me. My hand is an it's an extension of me. My brain tells the hand to do something, pick that book up, and my hand will pick it up. My brain does not have the power to through telekinesis lift that book, but this extension, which is an extension of my head, it helps. So both are me, but if you look at the innermost core, that's my brain, that's me. Okay, once you understand the body like this, you will understand that the limbs, they are extensions, and the more deeper you get, the organs, everything, they're also extensions. So who you truly are is the head and the spine. That's the innermost core of who you are. Okay, so the chakras that run along the head and the spine, they are the seven chakras. Hence we focus on the seven chakras. That's another reason why we also focus on the seven planets, not more. Okay, because those seven chakras are the within version of the seven planets. Okay, so which planet corresponds to which, I will talk about that when I talk about planets and everything. Okay, but the seven chakras, they are the seven planets. That's the innermost core of our being, and in Vedic astrology we focus on that. Hence we focus on seven planets, not Pluto, not Uranus, not Neptune. They are considered outside planets. And if you know enough about chakras, you know there are chakras above us, outside us. Okay, they are above. Here is one, and then there's one here, 6 inches above our head. We have this whole auric field. That's our aura. That's our vibration. It's a Taurus field. Okay, so we have energy cycles, chakras outside our body too. Okay, but the one that run in our innermost being are these two: head and the end of the spine, the coccyx, the base of the spine. This line has seven chakras. Those are the seven planets. So if certain thing is happening with the sun, it will affect the corresponding chakra. That's how it works. So that's the spiritual, mystical answer. Okay, so I think this is enough. And another thing I forgot talking about is my friend who asked me the question, what is astrology in my words? He also he added a PS, a postscript, where he basically suggested that I should learn astrophysics. Okay, now astrophysics is, it's a sciencey thing, and me personally, I prefer more of the occult or secretive, hidden side of things. Okay, not much of a, I'm not that guy, the science dude. Okay, but I'm also the kind of guy who I like to know everything, learn everything. Okay, but eventually I'll come up to that. But as of now, no, because when it comes to practicality, it's like what I'm going to do with that knowledge if I know the connection between astrophysics and astrology, and to apply it here. I'm not doing something with it. So if I'm not doing, why uh, use up that space in my head? So that's another thing why I don't get into that. But I will eventually. But when I do, I will have to apply it. Or if I have to apply it, then I will. Okay. As of now, not into that much. Okay. But if people want to learn astrology or even know about it in those terms, in the sciencey way, there are many people. Okay, and one I can suggest right now is Dr. Aditya Togi. Dr. Aditya Togi, he is a South Indian astrologer. He's a he's into Vedanga astrology. Okay, that's South Indian astrology, and basically he is also an astronomer. Okay, so what he does is he's worked with NASA. He teaches physics. Okay, he's definitely the science guy when it comes to astrology, the Indian version at least. And he, uh, every new discovery that happens astronomically, he connects that to ancient things that he already knows because he's also an astrologer, to ancient astrology. Okay, and he's mind blown when he sees some new planet that we discovered, that even we, the common folk, we don't know about it because it's not advertised yet, because we only know what we learned about astronomy when we were growing up uh, during school. If you are into all that space and all that, then maybe you keep up with those news, those kind of news. But if not, then these people definitely do. That's their occupation. So what he does is he looks at those discoveries and then he connects them to what we already know in ancient astrology. And he's mind blown when he sees how these ancient people could have possibly accounted for those things, for those phenomena. Okay. So if you are into that, you should look into his works. Google him, you know, watch his videos. I don't think he posts many videos, but he comes up on many big Vedic astrology channels on YouTube. So, and also he's part of the Pi team. He's part of this team of Vedic astrologers that they post videos and everything. Okay, it's known as the Pi team. That's Dr. Arjun Pai, Eve Mendoza, Dr. Sandeep, and Dr. Aditya Togi. Watch their videos. They have beautiful explanations of nakshatras, along with literally the biggest Vedic astrologer on YouTube, Kapil Raj, the KRS channel. Okay, so watch those videos if you like the science connection with astrology. Okay, so this has been drawn out too long, so thank you everyone for watching. I will soon be getting into the other 4 topics on one of those out of those 5 topics that I posted. And there are so many other things that I want to talk about. I want to also start making reels and everything. Not reels, shorts actually. But I'll try to stimulate and put facts out there or call out misconceptions. Okay, so I'll be doing that soon. So I hope everybody got their answers or what they wanted to learn today. If not, hit me up. Okay. And all the things that I talked about, if you are new to those and want to know more, I will be talking about those things in my videos, but that will take a while. So if you want to learn more, you can just Google them, talk about them with people you already know who might know about those things like the chakras thing. Or you can hit me up, ask me. Okay, and I'll tell you what I know. Okay, so thank you for watching. See you next time.